Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Christopher Aaron. This is the iGold Advisor channel. It is time for a gold price forecast, not just any gold price forecast, but we have to talk about the fact that gold has just recorded a new all-time in the history of humankind on planet Earth, as expressed in the world reserve currency, US dollar, new all-time high. It has just happened. This market is just picking up right now. The sentiment is still nowhere near where it should be for a long-term top, so I suspect there is a lot more still to come. This is going to be the most exciting time period that many of you have lived through if you've not been following the markets for more than a few years. It could all unfold quite rapidly starting now. So we want to have a clear look at what is going on. I want to let you know that in the next video that comes out within the next couple of weeks, I will be revealing one of our new gold mining picks for free that will be coming to you here on YouTube in case you're interested in that. And so for that reason, you better hit the red subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified when these videos come out, because I have noticed that sometimes when I discuss the gold mining companies that we are investing in here, all of a sudden the next day there can be quite some new interest in those companies and the share price can rise quite significantly. So I would want you to learn about this as soon as we publish this next video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. And also make sure to follow the Twitter account for iGold Advisor. It is at iGlobalGold on Twitter, because I don't always have a chance to post videos here every single week, but I usually put quicker updates out there on Twitter for free. So make sure to support your local Veterans for Peace, and let's look at this gold price forecast talking about the new all-time high that was just recorded. Legal disclaimer for one moment. And we go. So, new all-time high. Now, you have to look very carefully at what has just happened here and make sure you understand what is about to occur. So, the previous all-time high hit in the year 2020 was, in the spot market, $2,074.98. You can see that right there on the black line. Here in 2022, it actually came $4 shy of the all-time high. It was $2,070. Here, just yesterday, after the Federal Reserve meeting, as the overnight session in Asia got underway, gold actually recorded its new all-time high. It's difficult to see here, but let's zoom it in and you can see it. The price level achieved was $2,079 precisely. So it was a new all-time high. Some people are trying to discount this and say that it doesn't count because it didn't stick for very long. You know, right now as we're speaking, we're back closer to $2,050. So I will agree with you. It is not a weekly close yet above the former all-time high, but contracts traded hands here. Gold was bought and sold here. Indeed, this price was achieved, and it is the new high that gold has achieved ever in the history of planet Earth. A new all-time high involving actual transactions of physical gold happened to eclipse the former level. Now, clearly, we are not yet in a runaway breakout move. That is still coming. So when we see here a market clearly respecting a former resistance level on 3, and you can argue 4, because I think this attempt right here was number 3 several weeks ago, and that number 4 is gearing up right now. When you see a market on 4 separate occasions respecting a clear overhead resistance level right here, this is not a long-term topping pattern. There's really no such thing as a long-term triple or quadruple top in markets. What this is a market that is chipping away. You have to imagine there are some people who bought gold back in here at the absolute high, and they've been using these occasions to sell their gold over the last few years. So every time the market bumps up against this level, and here, eclipsing that level by $5, what's happening is that these former buyers who are now sellers are exiting their positions, and that gold is getting transferred from weak hands to strong hands. That is what is occurring behind the scenes. So it's very important to keep in mind that we're now looking at, functionally speaking, the fourth attempt at this resistance zone, the third being right here, and several weeks later, the fourth now underway. And so what I expect is going to occur here, now that we can put this in the record books as the new all-time high in the spot market, what is going to occur here is a final slight consolidation. My best expectation is that this is going to be within a matter of 1 to 3 weeks. I would be surprised if it lasts longer than 1 to 3 weeks. And I believe we will be holding above these recent lows, which is in the range of $1,980. So it could be a little bit of volatility here for another several weeks, but this is it. This is not a market that should be coming anywhere back down near these former lows. The next move after this final consolidation on a highest probability outlook is, boom, this, the sustained breakout. So we've already had the new all-time high. The record books now have to be changed. The highest price that gold ever traded at in US dollars has just occurred yesterday. And what's going to be coming after the consolidation is the breakout and then the next significant leg higher. So if you have no gold exposure right now, you want to think very closely about finalizing your exposure here, because I strongly believe you do not have more than several weeks before this thing really takes off. Now, the good thing for us is that we have a way to measure an expected target for gold once it starts breaking into new all-time highs. And what we're going to do is take the widest part of this amplitude here of the move from the former all-time high down to the low in here, which measures to be $460, and we add that onto the breakout point, revealing a target of $2,535. This is our highest expectation for gold over the next 6 to 18 months. This could unfold quite rapidly. So you want to be strongly thinking about finalizing your gold portfolio right now. If you are looking at wanting to add some life-altering leverage to your portfolio, you want to be thinking about the gold mining complex now, because gold is here, as you can see. It is above its 2011 peak, and for a combination of reasons, the gold miners, here we're looking at the senior gold miners, but the junior gold miners are even more unloved than the seniors. For a combination of reasons, the gold miners are still well below where they were in 2011. Look at where gold is. It's above its 2011 peak. The gold miners should be all the way up here above their 2011 peaks. They are not yet. I had a number of people ask why, and I believe the primary reason why is that the average investor has not yet paid attention to this market. Back in 2011, I was getting a lot of interest from mainstream investors in this market. Now, if you ask me, the mainstream investor is still mostly content to invest in their 401ks, their superannuation funds in Australia, their tax-free savings accounts in Canada. And so the average investor has not yet started to pay attention to gold. When the average investor around the world starts to read the headlines coming this week, I'm already seeing it on Yahoo Finance, CNBC, gold new all-time high. When the average investor starts to look at that and realize gold is already $2,000 per ounce, oh my goodness, I only have a couple $1,000s to invest, they are going to start moving down into a more affordable way to buy gold, which is the gold mining complex. And right now, if you think about it, okay, so we just talked about the target for gold, $2,535. That's a 23% move. That's going to be nice if, in fact, we achieve that target. However, if you look at where the gold miners should go above the former all-time high, let's call it into the mid-70s region on the GDX Senior Gold Miners Index, that's going to equate to a 114% move from here. So if you're looking at this and you already have a core holding in bullion, you really should pay attention to the fact that gold is breaking out now and the miners should be catching up to this move. As I said, this time in the next video that comes out, we are going to be revealing one of our hand-selected, researched, independently arrived at gold mining picks for you. That is coming. If you would not like to wait, but you want to know the exact investments that we are making now in the gold mining complex, you should check out Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. It includes not only premium member videos like you're seeing right now that are much more in-depth, covering the stock market, the currency complex, silver, but also the exact open market gold and silver mining companies that we are investing in here that are going to show the type of leverage that you just looked at, but I believe a lot greater. Remember that GDX fund is an average of about 50 different large cap gold miners. The large cap miners tend to be the least leveraged. So we're looking at the ones that are going to have more leverage than that on average. Precious Metals Intelligence Plus will get you access to all that immediately. If you're a higher net worth investor, I want to remind you that we have a service that is called Elite Private Placements, where we invest in similar gold mining companies as Precious Metals Intelligence Plus, but you get even higher leverage with the private placements because you receive free, yes, free warrants with every single investment that you make. The free warrants give you nearly twice the upside compared to buying the exact same companies in the open market. Remember, there are minimum requirements, tends to be $10,000 Canadian minimum per investment. That's why it's not appropriate for every investor. But if you're at that level where you have that discretionary capital, $10,000 per investment, you should really understand how much more upside the private placements get you here as we look at the catch-up move that looks like it's about to unfold in the gold mining complex. If you would like to speak to me one-on-one, I do consultations with individuals just like you. There's no situation too small nor too big. I handle people that are just starting, literally, that have never bought a single ounce of gold or silver ever in their lives. That's no problem. I do not take any funds or fees from the bullion dealerships. No kickbacks at all from the mining companies. I simply sit down with you the way we're talking right now, except you tell me about your situation, and I tell you what I would do in your situation if I were you, from a researched, independent perspective. I also work with investors that have millions and tens of millions of dollars available, and we work to allocate a portion of that portfolio into a diversified gold and silver vehicle, a portfolio that is going to get you leverage as well as safety in the precious metals is what we do, and we sit down over the course of 1 or 2 consultations, and I make sure that you are properly allocated as I would be. So make sure to hit the red subscribe button. This is the time to really be following this. Takeaway for today: gold has recorded a new all-time high just yesterday. It has done it. It hasn't yet held. We haven't seen the weekly closes above that all-time high, but transactions did indeed take place at that level. And when you see that happening, it's telling you that it's not a question anymore of if gold is going to break out. It's now a question of when. Think about it. Make sure to tune in for the next video. I am pleased to have you here. This is going to be an exciting next 18 months immediately ahead of us. Could happen a lot quicker than that.